Wait a minute. Can you hear me? Okay. I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes I speak and I don't even understand what the fuck is coming out of my mouth, like genuinely. Welcome back. And you guys, I have to say I'm really excited for this episode because it's part of my RAP, my Real Authentic People Stories, and I am so excited about this conversation. Me and this individual, we met at a local creative networking event, and we just really hit it off. We really vibed, and we both really could connect on being creatives, and that was just, I think, what really solidified us kind of wanting to collaborate more. So much so that actually I have to break this conversation up into two parts today. So today, you guys will be able to hear the first part of this conversation. And then next week, I'm going to release the second part of this conversation because it was that good, you guys. It was that good. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time, but I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Nay. So let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Raw, Real Authentic Woman, a podcast by Lana. Today, I have a very special guest with us. Me and this person, we met at a local creative, it's kind of like a networking event. And, we really just hit it off, and I'm really excited to have her on the show today. So I just wanted to welcome Nay. Am I saying that? I hope I'm saying that right. Okay. Yeah. Can you just introduce yourself to us? Let us know who you are and kind of what you do.
Yeah, so I am Nay. I met her as well as she told you guys at a networking event. I think things were really, really great, and I just felt like the energy off rip. I just feel like, yeah, I can vibe with her. We can connect, and we can do different things. I have a podcast as well, so I would love to have her on as well. So I just vibe. I do different things in the creative world, and that's pretty much me.
Love that. Can you talk to me a little bit about like your podcast and what you talk about on there?
Sure.
And what it's like?
Yeah, so my podcast is called Talks with Nay. I talk about a lot of different things people normally don't speak on.
Yeah.
Mental health, things of that sort. Just things that I feel like it's not normalized to speak about.
Yeah.
But we do go through it,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm creating that space, that platform for people to be vulnerable. I like to pick at people's brain to see what makes them them.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is, just a platform to talk, but not talk shit though.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that too, because I think that's what I'm trying to do on my podcast too. Mm-hmm. Is kind of create those spaces that the outside eye feels like it's uncomfortable, mm-hmm. but then we can bring noise and vibration to that and be like, hey, wait, actually it's not as scary as everybody's making it seem.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really appreciate that, there are other people out there doing that. Mm-hmm. So I guess what stage of life do you feel like you're in right now? What era do you feel like you're in right now?
I feel like I'm at a stage, and I can paint this picture where the butterfly, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's coming out of its cocoon and the whole shaping of the shedding of the layers, I feel like I'm right there at that spot. I don't know what to call it. If I can put a title to it, I don't have an answer for that. Mm-hmm. But just to paint that picture for you, I think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Can you unpack that maybe just a little bit more?
Sure.
Why do you feel like what are the things that are happening in your life mm-hmm. that are kind of making you feel like you're in that space?
Yeah. So I feel like the past 6+ years or so, I would say 5 to 6 years, I've been dealing with a lot mentally. Mm-hmm. I feel like I really challenge what adulthood, because you'll hear your parents say, you'll find out when you get older. You'll see when you get older. You're
oh my God, whatever.
I just want to be ground. Exactly. I just want to do my own thing. But you didn't realize what they meant in that moment. And I feel like I found out this fast.
Quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah.
Really quickly. At first it was still I had that support system. And not necessarily support system, I shouldn't use that word, but I still had that cushion where if I were to mess up, I can fall back on those people.
Yeah.
not necessarily saying I don't have it, like so we fell out or anything like that, but I did have a passing of a family member who I could depend on 100%.
Sure.
So that put me in a position where I had to figure this shit out on my own, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like life really hit me in those moments where I felt like I really had to become who I am and find out who that is.
Yeah.
So I feel like, in a sense, it's like a rebirth, if you think about it. I do feel like women go through this period, or people in general go through this. It's like a thing when you transition from teenager to womanhood, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, with my age, I'm a woman, but with my maturity as well, but I feel like I'm turning the leaf over completely.
Yeah.
So I feel like, to bring it back to that picture that I painted, that explains that.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what you were saying about, losing somebody. I don't think people talk about grief enough.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember being in my early 20s, and I dealt with somebody dying who was really close to me, and it was very sudden, unexpected. And I just remember feeling kind of what you were describing is like, oh my gosh, I have to like figure this out. Like I'm not, like the people that I have around me are not always going to be there.
Right.
And I'm not going to have that cushion to fall back into. And like, what the hell am I going to do? You know what I mean? And I think that's the crazy part that comes with grief is like, there's that, I don't know, that underlying fear.
Right.
After you lose somebody of like, holy shit, I have to like make sure that I'm good, you know, like that fear of, I don't know, not being independent to take care of yourself. Is that, I don't know if that's making sense or resonating.
It is. I get what you're pitching at 100%. I feel like not to have that mindset, because I don't think it's necessarily healthy 100%, but at the same time, you do have to mentally prepare yourself, because you came in this world by yourself.
Right.
You're leaving by yourself.
Right.
That's the unfortunate real truth of the situation. So I feel like you're placed on this world to make the connections with people, but like not to depend on them.
Yes, yeah.
Fully.
Like
my situation, it was my parent.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So of course I'm depending on this person.
Right.
This is my parent. But I feel like regardless of the relationship status, at some point you do have to find that line in between, because at some point, even if it was my father, so even if he was still here, it's still a time where he's gonna have to cut that line and say like, okay, you're a woman now, you have to do this on your own, because I'm not always gonna be here. And unfortunately, that moment we didn't have that conversation, so it just happened. So I feel like regardless of the fact, you're still gonna have that moment, you know, where you have to separate yourself in a way.
No, that's, and so what kind of pulled you out of that, would you say? Like, finally, like, you know?
I wouldn't even say I'm fully out.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Grief shows up, it comes and goes. I will say I'm doing much better than I was. Right away, when I did find out the news and everything, and how everything broke out, it was like this weird effect where I didn't feel... this is crazy, because this is my first time actually talking about this. So,
oh my gosh! Wow. Well, I'm sorry, we got so deep real quick, and I didn't mean to pry, but I appreciate you being vulnerable. So.
Because I know someone out there is probably dealing with the same thing. So it's okay. We can talk about this. But when I did find out everything, I feel like I was just such a, not necessarily shock, and I was just in go mode. Like I was just like, okay, so we lost this person. How do I kind of fill the void? Because I was worried about my siblings.
Sure. Are you the oldest?
I'm not. So it's weird.
Okay.
I'm the oldest for my dad, but I'm not the oldest for my mom.
Got you. Okay.
But they're gonna hate this if they hear this, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Like my older siblings, they like, they're older by age, but they know to call me. I'm the most responsible.
Right. Yes.
Like, they know. They know.
Like I'm actually the big sister. Sorry about it.
Literally. Yeah. But so in that moment, I just felt the need to step up, and that was a completely wrong approach. Like, it's no way I can fill that void. Like this person, it's no way. There's no way. But in that moment, I just didn't want them to feel, and I wanted to protect them. Yeah. In a way. But it's just because that was my main focus, I wasn't even thinking about myself. Sure. That whole time, I literally, if I think about it, it's just like blank, because like I didn't feel it for myself until it hit. And it was like a delay. And when it hit, it hit bad. It hit really bad. Yeah. So I feel like now, because it was a couple years until like I really felt it, and this is kind of still relatively fresh in a way. It was 2020, so it's kind of still, in a way fresh, depending on how you look at it. But I think what was the question again? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I was kind of just like trying to unpack that and like how you got out of there, and
so
kind of like to this other side.
I never truly got out of it, but I knew I didn't want to stay where I was.
Yeah.
So I had my moments. Of course, I feel like grief is never gonna go away. Yeah, I just feel like it's not a thing that you just, okay, I'm healed. Yeah. No, because this person is missing. You know, out of your day-to-day life, and like it's gonna be moments in your life where you're gonna look for that person.
Exactly.
Because they usually show up in these ways. But I feel like my, I guess, motivation or like my thought process behind kind of getting out of it, quote unquote, is just showing up and figuring out a way to honor his name.
Sure.
And keeping it alive, honestly. That's like my best way of going about it. Like, even if it's good or bad, like, I am who I am, and this is a woman that you raised me to be. So I'm hoping that I'm doing it in the way that you would like me to. If not, it is what it is. But I don't know. I don't know if I really answered that really well, but that's just where I'm at.
No, I appreciate that, take on it too, because I think that we don't really grow up hearing about grief. Right, you know what I mean? Right. And which is crazy, because when I really look back on like all of the Disney movies and shit that we watched, it was like all these, like I think of Bambi, right? He like loses his mom and his dad. It's like so fucking tragic for no reason. And it's just interesting to me because it's kind of like those subtle moments of grief, but it's never unpacked. Like nobody ever fucking talks about it. You know what I'm saying?
They just deal with it behind closed doors.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then you get to that age, especially like when you first lose somebody and you're young. Right. And you lose somebody and you're at a young age where you're still kind of like you're in this depending on people, and it's somebody you depend on. Then it's like, well, what the fuck?
What do I do?
This is just like I'm already dealing with all of this huge ass emotions that I don't understand. And now I have to navigate all of that without this person.
And then learn adulthood on my own.
Yes, fuck.
Dude, that's adulthood. That's already enough.
Like, oh my God. I mean, it's crazy. But now that we got already that deep.
Yeah, we just
we just went right in there. But can you maybe talk to me a little bit about how you describe yourself on the surface, or like how you think people maybe see you on the surface?
I don't know how people see me anymore, honestly, if I'm being truthful.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been in certain spaces where I can't really showcase who I truly am. I'm not necessarily because I'm faking who I am, but I feel like people get different versions of me based off of the energy that I get off of them, if that makes sense.
For me, I feel like on the surface, I feel like I try to be very goal-oriented. I try to be very organized. Like, I do like my routines, but I think underneath that, I'm like, I don't know. I'm going through it in my head all the time. Yeah. Like, I'm an overthinker, and
100%. I would say, like, overall, ideally, I would like to be that person. I'm very dependable. I will say that. Very dependable, very reliable. If you call me, I'm listening. I'm talking, like, one of those things, like, for sure. People will say that about me 100%. They can call me anytime in the hour. I may be, like, a little sleep talking, but
I'm going to be there.
I'm listening. I'm listening. But, I would say that for sure. But then again, I don't know exactly, like I said.
I know, and I think that's a harder, I think it's a harder question too. Now that I'm asking about it, and I'm like thinking about it for myself, I'm like, well, what am I on the surface? Like, because I think, I don't know about you, but I've been doing a lot of like inner healing and inner growth, and there's no way a few years ago I'd be able to sit here and have this conversation and be transparent and try to be as authentic as I have been. Okay. So I think now it's like, I don't even know how I would describe myself on the surface because I've uncovered all those layers. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a hard question. I feel like
with that.
Yeah,
I get that.
So I kind of want to take it back to this creative conversation, because I know we met in a creative space and we had really great conversations, but Can you talk to me maybe a little bit about like who you are as a creator and, you know, where that inspiration comes from and what it looks like for you?
So I always knew I would be in the creative world, like since early YouTube days, right?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody wanted to be a YouTuber.
Oh my God, I wanted to be a YouTuber so much.
Yeah, I think like with all the pranks and the different challenges, I was very intrigued. However, I knew my route would be different. I enjoy more of like day in the lives, learning different things, that type of content, you know? So I think early on that shaped me on my interest of when I wanted to go in that direction. And then I was a couple years back, I want to say like 2014, 15-ish. I was like, okay, me and my siblings were going to start this channel, and it was called Life of ATA. It did pick up a little bit, but it was more of that like, hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy. Like, yeah, you know, like, whatever.
Oh my gosh, wait, so, I gotta hear like an example of one, like for real.
I want to say like, yeah, our intro is very much. I'll give you our intro so you can see.
Yeah. It's like you remember it so.
Now it's kind of cringe now, but like it was like, what it is, man, what it do, what it be about. It's your girl Nay, and we are back with another video. So it was like things of that sort.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was something that me and my siblings were doing, and we did enjoy it. We made a little buzz for ourselves, but like, you know, things die out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I do like this. I like posting. I learned how to edit a little bit. My early on stages in editing is terrible.
Oh,
awful.
Gosh. What did you use? I'm so curious. Oh my God, yeah, totally.
So,
that's exactly what I used to.
And then I was like, okay, so what do I want to take with this? And then I randomly, because I do have, like I said, people call me all the time. Like, what I mean by all the time is like, not necessarily with their problems.
Sure.
But they know I'm a good go-to person to talk to. So when I do, or even a good listener, you know, people would literally go to the bat to say that about me. So I was like, okay, so I do enjoy having conversations with people. And I do feel like I have a really good input and I have a good voice. I feel like after the whole mental, like, depressive thing I went through with losing my dad and everything, I was like, hey, I want to, because I was searching for something that kind of, like, what I mean by that is, like, online, that kind of correlated to what I was going through. Like, some type of guidance. Yeah. Something, you know?
Because, you weren't getting it in your real life.
Yeah, like, it was, people will talk about it, but they won't really get
into it,
really, truly. Yeah. So I was like, And I don't know why, like, because, somebody else can be going through the same thing, but you just felt seen. You felt, like, heard, and, like, okay, I'm not alone in this, you know? Yeah. And, like, you will see blogs and people, like, but just, like, hearing it, and then, like, the vulnerability in someone's voice, or, like...
Right. And actually, I think that's what breeds authenticity.
Right.
Like, honestly, because, I mean, I remember when I was going through my depressive episode, and it was kind of similar, around the similar time. Like, it was, like, 2022 for me, but, like, I was searching for that, too. And I really appreciate that you said that, because I felt like when I was in search of it online, I feel like I did find it. It's like, well, like authenticity, like people being authentic and people being vulnerable, that, you know, kind of, you know, instilled in me my creative spark. And I was like, well, if they can do it and they can be this vulnerable and comfortable talking about these things.
And I feel like that's a new wave now. People are being more vulnerable now, and I appreciate that now. But I think the time then when I'm referring to, it wasn't really... I feel like because social media is like, you know, I can go on a rant for that one.
Oh, bitch, I could be here all day on social media.
But like, I just feel like because how it's portrayed just highlights and different things that people don't want to talk about the real deal of situation, like the truth, the ugly parts of social media. People don't want to talk about because they're not going to post that. Right. You know, it's only the highlight reels of glimpse of your life. Literally 30 seconds of your life. Like, not even the actual thing. So
I know. There's something else that bothers me about, like, kind of just what I feel like I'm seeing right now. And I kind of talked about it in my last episode, but it's like, I feel like authenticity is like a trend now. Like, people are kind of using authenticity as like a trend. And that pisses me off because it's like, are you really being authentic though? You know what I mean?
People can tell the real from the fake.
And I think that's true too. I definitely think that's true.
I hope so.
Yeah. And something that as I've just been like learning more and more about like content creation and posting and things like that, you know, a lot of these content creators, they they have to stay in one lane because they blew up off of
that specific niche.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, I don't ever want to be bound to my own creativity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like that's where I was like, to get back to the question, I feel like that's where I was heading at. Because I was like, okay, I have a voice. However, I don't want to limit myself to that because I have so many things I have to offer when it comes to this creative world.
100%.
I just feel like it's your playground. It's your rules.
Yes.
Like it's it's guidelines to certain platforms, of course.
Yeah.
But like this is your domain. You know.
Yeah.
You get to do X, Y, and Z how you want it.
Yeah.
So I had that mindset, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do a podcast, and I wrote it down. I remember I wrote it down. No, it's okay. This is what I'm gonna call it, and I just launched it.
Yeah. So when did you start? When did you start?
I'm gonna say maybe 2023. Yeah, 2023.
Wow. Yeah.
I took some time off because where I was doing it at, they like shut down completely. I think it was like COVID time. So businesses went out, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And then I was okay. I want to take a different approach, but like I think the main reason why I took so much time off before coming back because I am rebranding right now.
Period. I love that.
Yeah, I definitely will be having you on.
Right? Oh my god, no, I'm so excited. Yeah, it'll be so fun to like switch roles too, and then we can talk about. Anyway.
And that's what I'm like. This is new to me. Like me on the other side, like whoa.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna kind of ask you about that because like that probably feels weird, like being.
It does. But I like it though.
Right.
But yeah, it took me some time because I feel like I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people where I'm going to get in front of the camera and say all these things and I'm not actually doing it.
Yeah.
So in those moments, I was truly prioritizing my mental health.
Yeah, and getting back to you.
Getting back to me. And then I was like, okay, I can pick up the mic again and I can get on camera again. But like, I'm not going to fake the funk just because this is my brand.
Right.
That's not true to who I am. That's not true to my brand at all. Yeah. So that's what it was.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard too because I feel that like I know everybody's like, well, you should do video and you should do video. And it's like, it's not that I don't want to do video because I do think video podcasts are like great. But, you know, I think there's a certain level of like intimidation with a camera. I mean, it's like when you make content, right? I feel like I can say all this shit and do all this shit and then I start recording and I'm like, you know what I mean? It's just so stupid. And so I've appreciated the audio because I can kind of, for lack of a better, I don't know, term, but like I can hide a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I can hide behind the camera a little bit and I can just be more myself because I'm not focused on what I'm looking like while I'm having this conversation. Yeah. Do you know 100%. What I'm saying?
I do like this. This is my first audio only. I do like this setup. I want to say I will switch over. Yeah. But I do feel like I get the vibe that you're saying.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, it's just too much. Like, I can just get nervous.
No. You have to get well acquainted with the camera.
You do. Like, that's a whole thing, too. Like, and I don't know why it brings so much intimidation. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe you are really authentic in yourself, but maybe do you feel like you have to be a certain way based on the space that you're in? Like, say, your job or say your friends or your family. Like, do you ever feel that way?
Not with my family. Yeah, not with my friends or family, but definitely in the workspace. Yeah. Like, let's talk about that. Like, let's really talk about that. Yeah. Because I feel like because I work in a setting where I work at a school, and I get it. You do have to be like, it's a time and a place to be, you know, X, Y, and Z. You have to be professional. I get that 100%.
Right.
But it comes to a place where are you truly being who you are based off of the standards of this school or whatever job that you're, you know, your occupation. I feel like the setting, and here's what I will say without saying too much.
Yeah.
If a place for me makes me feel welcoming, it makes me feel like I can be myself truly, I will.
Right.
And if it doesn't, I will refrain back. I'll dial it down some. I have a huge personality.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to get that version of me.
Yeah. So, which actually, I think that's really important though too, because it's protecting your own energy.
True.
And you can like sense that and be like, true. Like you're not giving me that space to do that. I'm not about to give you the space back type shit. You know what I mean?
You don't deserve to see like who I truly am. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like finding the line in the balance in between. Because when do you stop and like say, after a while, if you're around certain people who doesn't give you that, you know, space where you can feel true to yourself, which you shouldn't be around people that you can't honestly, but if it's for work purposes, I understand that. After a while, how long can you fake the funk, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to get lost in being this person. Not necessarily that you're something completely different.
And it's not like you're trying to necessarily,
you're not trying to, but like you realize, oh wow, I do enjoy that, or I am like this, or I do that, but you didn't realize it because you were, you know, down in the back some around certain energies and certain spaces.
Yeah, and I think there is that like definitely like fine line, because I could talk about being in the professional space too. Oh my god, like
corporate life is different.
Yeah, and it's like I appreciate my job and what I do, and you know what everything that comes with that. But at the same time, I do feel what you're saying, where I feel like I do have to dial back like who I am, because I have to be professional and I have to dress a certain way. And, you know, I have to talk to my coworkers a certain way too. And it's like, again, like I understand that there maybe needs to be those levels of boundaries.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like I feel like sometimes I am holding back from my entire self, and I have to step into this role that kind of feels like myself, but it's not fully myself.
And I would consider myself, like, I feel like a lot of companies, for the most part, they hire people based on their personality.
Yeah.
So allow me to be who I am, you know, like a personality hire. Not necessarily that either. Like, I feel like working in, like we're saying, in a corporate space, you are a person outside of that 9 to 5.
Correct.
I'm going to say it again. You are a person outside of this 9 to 5.
Period.
So regardless of if you are having a drink with your friends on the weekend, you can have that drink.
Yeah.
If you are at a party, live it up.
Right.
If you're on the beach, do that. You know? Like whatever. If you're wearing a swimsuit and you know what I mean? Like some people are like really, like they are not true to themselves because they're afraid that they're running to. I'm speaking on the educational side, you know, but you can speak on corporate, period, whoever. But at the end of the day, I just vouch for people to be who you are, especially outside of the job space. Like, don't feel like you have to hold back.
Yeah.
Just because, oh, I'm afraid XYZ may see a video of me enjoying life. That's literally what you're doing. That's it.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
You're an adult.
Exactly. like, I know. And I think there's this like, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like there's this fear, like we're still a kid. You know what I mean? And we're going to get in trouble if we post something bad or do something bad, because we grew up in that age of social media, and it was like, you know, when so-and-so posted this, they were getting expelled or doing, you know, you see what I'm saying? Like there were repercussions for that shit because we grew up in it. And so I think there's still that level of fear.
Yeah, but it wouldn't even be like necessarily bad.
Right.
It would just be like, say if you had like a revealing dress on.
Or right, like
whatever,
type
like
shit.
Just whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever. If you're feeling good about yourself, getting your sexy on, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be reported back to your employer. Like, you know, like, that should be a topic of conversation. Oh, you had a good weekend, or I know what you did.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be a thing.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that happened in my workspace, but I'm just saying this is
an example.
Speaking, it's an example.
Yeah. And, yeah, I know. I think that's why I just kind of was like, and I think another thing that comes with that is just like fear of losing the job that you have, because, you know, I would argue that everybody is grateful for what they have. And that's part of the reason why they're fearful of posting things that feel like is them, but they don't want to do that because they're scared of losing their opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and it just got to a point for me where I was like, fuck it.
Literally.
At this point.
You have to. You have to have that mentality, because if you think, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Literally.
Crazy. If you keep, like, what if X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
If you keep the what ifs.
It's like, no, I can't. I literally cannot continue to go throughout my life and wonder, like, what if anymore? Like, I need to just put myself out there and be who I am and say what the fuck I want to say, because I have shit to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's kind of my new thing as well. Not necessarily what if. Like, your what if is my so what.
Yeah.
And my thing is, so what if you fail?
Yeah.
So what if you don't fail?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Like, who cares?
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Like,
no, deadass.
Life is just, and I think that was a big thing too. And I was thinking about earlier, like, possible questions you may ask me.
Yo, sure.
I was like,
what is she gonna ask?
Yeah, but I was like thinking, and my biggest thing I tell, because I'm a cheer coach, and
That's right. I remember you said that.
Yeah, for middle school. So it was like that weird in between preteen until, puberty, that stage where it's like very,
yeah. I remember those days. God.
Imagine 17 girls.
Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of girls.
Imagine.
That's a lot.
With 2 coaches, because I'm a coach with my best friend. So
okay. At least you got a little bit of help because I've coached volleyball, so I'm right there with you. Coach 15-year-olds.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a whole.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
So you understand.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah. So, that's like, 17 attitudes plus the coaches.
God,
if we have
terrible.
attitude.
Right.
Well, we can't have attitude.
I know. It's like, I want to match their energy so bad, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
We're the adults.
Yeah.
We can't.
I'm an adult. No, literally.
But, what I'm getting at is, though, because we're so big on, like, giving... It's more than just cheer for us.
Sure.
It's a sisterhood. It's a bond. Like, we are really pouring into these girls and giving back to the community. 100%.
I kind of want to talk about more maybe your upbringing, I guess, if you're comfortable talking about that. And just like, were there any parts of your upbringing that you think encouraged or challenged your creativity?
That's really good. I wouldn't say encouraged. Well, it's really hard to say. But I will say I found myself spending a lot of time with myself at a young age.
Yeah.
Which led me to tap into a creative world.
Sure.
I feel like I daydreamed a lot. And I knew since I was younger, like, this is a lifestyle I want to do. I'm going to be a creator somehow in some way. So I feel like not necessarily it was encouraged, but because again I spent a lot of time with myself, even though I had those 5 of us siblings, but I don't know, I just had my own way of life, and I like used to literally spam YouTube videos all the time. I was like, oh my gosh, to live a life like that, I would like a life like that. But not necessarily like the glitz and glams of it, but just knowing that this is something I could do, So, yeah. Yeah,
it's so interesting, like, also to bring it back to how, like, we just grew up in the age of, like, the influencer, basically. And I remember thinking that at a very young age, too. Like, I watched a lot of YouTube, and I mean, I started my own vlog too for a little bit. I mean, it was really bad, but it was fun, you know, like it was just fun to like kind of experiment and like you said, kind of edit and mess around and kind of just figure out.
It was just fun. That's when it was like, just fun to do. Fun. Everything had to be aesthetically pleasing and
and it was like, I don't know, like as a kid and doing that shit, it was like, I wanted it to be perfect, and I wanted it to be the one that got all the views and stuff. But honestly, I look back on it now, and I'm like, it didn't need to be that. Like, it was still just, like, a moment in time for me to be creative, and that's fine. Like, it's helped me to become and step into the creator I am today. Like, if I didn't have that. But it's just funny to, like, look back on your old stuff, you know?
And it's honestly, it's always the videos that you don't put that much effort that actually do take off.
Dude, I swear to God, bro. I be thinking that now, too, because I've, like, just posted more content recently, and I swear to God, it'd be, like, 3 seconds of video with some flat text on it, and it goes nuts. And I'm like, this is the most simple shit I could have made.
That you spend like an hour or so editing.
Right.
Like, it doesn't do anything.
No, it's like I spend 2 hours editing a fucking day in the life, and it's like so bad. You know, isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's crazy. So before this conversation, you know, you kind of had mentioned to me these topics of like overcoming isolation and breaking judgment. So I kind of wanted to ask you, like, are those personal experiences of yours, or are they just topics that you kind of take a lot of pride in, or is it both? I
feel like all my topics, for the most part, are personal. The most part, like, because I feel like I can speak on that because I went through that. That's something I don't necessarily respect to a certain extent. Let me explain. Taking it back to really quick to the school setting, I feel like a lot of educators and staff, keep it at that, they either relate or they don't to the next generation of these kids. Yeah. And it's okay if you don't. That's totally fine. That's literally totally fine. But don't sit here and act as if you do because you role played at professional development for 5 minutes. Yeah. you know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying that to bring it back to what I'm saying. I don't speak on something like passionately behind it unless I went through it myself.
Yeah.
So most of the things,
or you have knowledge or whatever.
Yeah, or I have knowledge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can speak on something if you have knowledge,
right?
Or if you're just gaining knowledge,
yeah, or personal experience, right? Yeah.
But like most of the things are my personal experiences.
Yeah. So can you maybe kind of uncover a little bit of some of that isolation? Do you feel that now? Did you feel that back when you were a kid? When did that start?
Isolation. I mean, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time with myself. Just
that's what you were saying. Yeah,
but it was more so me. Like I was just that weird kid. Like just
sure.
Stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like we all went through a weird stage or awkward stage.
100%.
No, it was more so isolation. I feel like COVID, and I feel like everybody can vouch for that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like after the whole quarantine and all that, I got accustomed to being by myself. Like, it was cool. I was okay with it until I wasn't.
Yeah.
Until I realized I need these interactions with people. Because after, the whole thing let up and everything, we were back to work, I was working as a caretaker and only did night shifts.
Oh, shit.
I barely had interaction with humans. Other than waking them up, getting them ready in the morning, and that they were halfway asleep. So I barely had actual conversations with people. I lived by myself, so it was just like,
oh my god,
I'm not talking.
You have to
I'm really having like 2 words a week.
I know,
crazy.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah,
because
like I'm not talking.
I live alone right now, and I have lived alone before too. But it's just so funny because you almost have to push yourself out of that space.
Yeah,
because you're alone all the time, and I love being alone. I love living by myself. It's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? But I can get a little crazy. I can go a little crazy if I don't push myself out into that space.
You have to have those human interactions.
Yes.
You literally have to have it.
And I think that's a bigger conversation that needs to be had too, is like, there is an importance of being on your own and getting to know yourself and, having that time with yourself. But humans are humans. Right. We need human connection.
We do. We were not placed on this world to not.
No. Yeah. And it's frustrating to me because I feel like true human connection doesn't happen a lot. There's not a lot of real conversations being had. And what's really cool about this experience right now is that we are both being very vulnerable and authentic. And we've talked to each other like once in our fucking lives.
Literally, but like, I'm like, what do you
right.
What
do you want to know? And what can I teach you? What can I learn from you? What, you know what I mean? Like, and I just appreciate that because our experiences are so different, yet we're able to sit here and have a conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation. Like that part, like
literally,
I literally wasn't talking. So I think from that and like literally forcing myself out, I went from just like I said, not having any conversations at work, to working at a school where like 300 plus kids know my name.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm constantly talking to their parents. I'm literally the position that I am. I'm doing like what it's called. I can't even think of. I do it every day, and I can't even think of what it's called. Morning announcements, things of that sort. Like it's kind of the voice of. I don't want to say that. I don't want to label myself the voices of the school because no. Yeah. But like at the same time, I'm talking more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, answering the phone. Like I'm a secretary.
Do you think?
So I'm talking more.
Do you think it gave you like more confidence too? Like when you started getting out in those spaces and like talking more to people, would you say?
Yes. And no.
Okay.
Yes, because again, I'm talking, so it's practice. It's coming natural. But then I would say no because in a workspace, it becomes scripted.
Okay.
You don't really get like, hey, how are you? I'm good. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like truly, how are you? Like you're not in a space where you can have those conversations truly.
Yeah.
So for me to make like. In my personal life, or if I'm trying to build like a friendship,
there's an effort that needs to be
right, right, and that's the part where I was like, no,
Interesting. I like that. And then the other thing that you had on here was breaking judgment. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like,
what do you mean by that?
Like, I don't know. I guess the question would be like, what is breaking judgment to you? Is it breaking judgment from yourself? Is it breaking judgment from other people? What does breaking judgment look like, I guess, for you?
I think it goes back to that, so what?
Yeah.
It just goes back to that mentality, so what? Like, people are going to talk regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to have opinion about you.
Yeah.
You do good, they're going to have something to say. You do bad, they're going to have something to say. So I truly, for me to sit here and say I don't care about what people think, to a certain extent I do.
Right.
I do. Like,
and I feel like everybody does. Let's be so for real.
Let's be so for real.
Yeah, like seriously.
To a certain extent you do. But I feel like the people that I do value their opinions or I care, they're really close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a complete stranger, you don't like me, okay.
Like,
right.
Literally, we'll move on.
But so judgment for that aspect, I feel like that's why it's easier for me to get on the platform and share my story, because like it's nothing that you're gonna tell me in the comments that I already know about.
Don't know myself.
Like, hello, and goodbye. I feel like that only triggers people that, and don't get me wrong, because some people they go crazy in the comments. Like some people do.
Sure, yeah.
But what I've experienced myself that I'm speaking on is most of the time, if someone's gonna have a judgment about what I say or my story or what I share, it's like I put that out there for that exact reason. Yeah. So like I knew that disclaimer. Like I mentally prepared myself before even putting it out there. So it's nothing that you're telling me about what I'm sharing that I don't know about myself. Yeah. Like so what? But as far as myself, like judging myself, getting caught up in the social media life where you're so hard on yourself, and I feel like judging yourself, where you feel like at this age I should have this done. Yeah. Like the whole timeline thing. I feel like ultimately, if you think about it, the name of an influencer is truly influencing somebody. Like people just say, "Oh yeah, I'm an influencer." What does that mean? Right. What are you influencing? Like, you know what I mean? Like people just say that, they don't understand like the actual definition behind it and like what it actually means for you, I guess you would say. But if you think about it, we are all following somebody in some aspect, whether it's your parents, your grandparents. Yeah. It goes back to who is the ultimately influencer. Oh
my God, bro.
Yeah. Literally. So like for people to say, well, I'm my own person, I'm like somehow, some way, some form, somebody shaped your thought process and your thinking somewhere along the lines. So for us to live up to whoever that person is, because who is this person?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So for us to live up to the standard of what life should look like for you, to a person you have no idea who the fuck. Yeah, exactly. You don't like, know who the fuck. So why?
Yeah. That's so oh my God, bro. You're literally just. I'm so glad you said that, because I think about this all the time, and it's such a hard thing to grasp, because
it is,
because it's like you. Again, we grew up in this age, right? In this era, we grew up in like seeing what life could be like. And honestly, I think the influencer is like the modern version of the American dream, like dead ass. Because I think everybody wants to do it and everybody thinks that they can do it. But then at the same time, like we're also getting these projections of how we should live our life and the way that we should live our life. And again, goes back to that, well, I need to have this by this time in my life.
This timeline.
Yes. And it's just like...
It's not realistic. We all have different paths.
No. Yeah. But we feel so much pressure to like hit those things. And it's just, oh my God, it's just one of those things that I battle with a lot, because as much as I would like to say that I am not one of those people who does that, I do that to myself. Yeah. I am like, well, fuck. I'm sitting here, I'm 26 years old, and I don't have any kids. I don't have a man. You know what I mean? Right. Like,
no, we're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's like the pressure of, okay.
It is.
You're going to line, you see, oh, such and such got married.
Right.
Such and such is on kid number 3.
Exactly.
Well, damn.
But then like more recently, I've kind of been asking myself, well, is that really what I want? Like, wait a minute. Like, let's ourselves
talk about it, though.
Right?
Talk about it. Because I feel like people are pressured because this is what you're supposed to do, want, quote unquote.
Right.
And they do it. They go and do it. In some cases, they're miserable. Yeah. Because that's not what they really wanted.
Exactly.
But because they feel like the pressure of living up to this standard of what society is pushing out with this timeline, they did it. Or they feel like they're not doing enough, so they have to, I don't know. This could go so many different ways.
Yes, it could, dude.
Many different ways.
And that's why I've been asking myself, like, okay, what is it that I actually want in my life? Like, what is it that is actually going to bring me, a sense of happiness. I mean, because life is always going to bring ebbs and flows. I mean, that's
100%.
That's how it is. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what we sign up for when we come down here. It's like, bro, you're here to have a human experience. It's going to be ups and downs, and that's what the human experience is.
Yeah.
But like, I think about it and I'm like, I don't want to get to the end of my life and look at the end of my life and be like, oh my God, I didn't do this, this, and this. You know what I mean? And I always talked about wanting to do those things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah, no, that's real. That's real.
It's like, I don't ever want to look back on my life and say that I was too scared to do something. And I just want to at least try, fuck around and find out.
So that's where your what if comes in.
Yes, and that is my what if, like, for sure. And I don't know. So I've really been trying to ask myself that question more. And I think the more that I think about it, though, too, it's deeper than that. It's like I want to invest in the people who invest in me. I'm tired of investing in people who take advantage of my energy or don't appreciate me. And I want to be around people who are like me, like-minded like me.
Like-minded, yeah,
you know? And maybe
100%.
Not like me, but like what you're saying, like-minded. Because that's what gives me, you know, a sense of purpose almost. Like, even just sitting here and having this conversation, like, this is enjoyable for me. This is something that is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know?
Yeah.
So... Do you have something like that? Do you have something that makes you feel like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
For me, it's podcasting as well. We're doing the same thing. I don't want to limit it to just podcasting, but I definitely think I'm supposed to be working with the next generation 100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like I am along the lines where I need to be. But I don't think I'm there quite yet exactly to pinpoint it. But then again, I don't think I'm the person who is just in one box either. Yeah. I feel like I'm being multitude of things. Yeah. But I feel like I got that true passion of like, this is my thing, is when I filmed my first episode. And I started networking with strangers. Yeah. And I was able to connect with them. And like, they were willing to open up with me, like complete strangers. Yeah. And it was like, because of who I was and like the vulnerability I displayed, they felt comfortable enough to do so. Yes. You know? So I think, that's my...
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I've really appreciated talking to you today. Like, this has been so much fun, and I feel like we covered so much ground already. Like, I can't wait to edit this. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But I really do appreciate how vulnerable you've been with me, Nay.
Yeah,
and, like,
100%.
I feel like we both, like, kind of have that space, and it's cool when that space is... I don't know. Just it's mutual, right?
Yeah, I get you. I actually did have some questions for you.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Oh my gosh! Okay, I was not prepared for this. We flipping the script.
Just a sec. I got you.